There are some of these games that I go, oh, I need to play. And then there are some that I go, oh boy, I get to play. Argos no Senshi is definitely one of the latter. It's not perfect, but it's such a snappy action game, I have a lot of fun with it. I've also never managed to beat it, even though I know it's really more of a matter of patience than anything else. I never have enough time when I sit down with it. My only regret is that I decided to play it without a strategy guide. There's a good chance I would have beaten it for this video if I had used a guide, but I didn't mind wandering around and tinkering. The Japanese title Argos no Senshi means Warrior of Argos, the Greek city-state. Though there's nothing in the game that really seems Greek to me. I'm not sure why they chose Rygar as the US title. They also changed some of the music when they brought it to the US. Argos started out as an arcade game, and this is one of those cases where it was changed dramatically between arcade and home. We've already seen how common it is to add action-adventure elements, where players have to search for a long time for things, and collect power-ups to let them continue on. Argos takes it one step further. You get experience points for every enemy that you kill, and you level up. Both your attack power and your health bar increase. So if you're having trouble defeating a boss, beating up a bunch of little guys might help. The story for this game is very simple. Rygar the Beast King has risen again, and according to prophecy, a warrior from Argos will defeat him. The thing that makes Argos no Senshi really stand out is just how good the action is. The jumping is snappy, you've got a good amount of air control too, and then there's his special weapon, the Disc Armor, which is basically a yo-yo. It's super fast and you can feel it tear into people. There's only one point in the game where I felt like the platforming didn't work, and that's right here. This one little enemy standing on a spot, and if you touch him or get hit by him, you get knocked back off the edge. The best solution I found was to use another move, bouncing on his head. As you wander the world, sometimes you'll find these doors. When you go in them, you'll find a wise man. They can give you hints, refill your life, and in a few rare instances, they'll give you a power-up that will help you navigate the world. A few of the doors lead to new areas. And the way it generally works is that there's two linked side-scrolling areas, and those are linked together by an overhead hub world. From the start of the game, your first goal is to go right until you find this door that takes you to that overhead area. Once there, you can get the grappling hook. You toss it up in the air by pressing up and B. If there's something above your head that it can attach to, then you'll start climbing up. The side-scrolling areas in Argos no Senshi tend to have multiple layers, and the hook can latch onto something above the screen. That said, there's usually some context clues to help you know that there's something above you. Like a tree trunk that extends above the screen. You use the grappling hook to reach this boss, and here's where I went off the rails. I discovered a bug in Argos no Senshi right here. By jumping over the boss's head and getting knocked back off the screen, I wound up continuing at the third boss. The first boss advances on you and shoots out 3 fireballs that are kind of tough to dodge. The third boss sits in one place and shoots 2 very easy to dodge fireballs. It took a lot of hits, but I did manage to sequence break. There's one more set of abilities for your warrior. You collect these tokens to build up your mental energy, and by hitting start you access this status screen. There are 3 special abilities that can be activated here. For 3 points, you can extend the reach of your grappling hook. For 5 points, you get a screen-clearing attack that can be used 10 times. And for 7 points, you can completely refill your life bar. Enemies can also drop vials that will refill 1 point of life, but it's pretty rare for them to do so. And that means grinding up the mental energy to use the full revive is usually how you have to get health back. You only have 1 life in Argos no Senshi, and the game over screen doesn't give you a choice to continue. But what you can do is hold down right and press start, and you'll begin in whatever area you died in. There is no password system, so the entire game has to be cleared in one sitting. And it is a very long game. Even if you're following a guide, I would anticipate it taking you about an hour, hour and a half to clear. If you're not following a guide, it'll be much longer. In Japan, the Famicom box art is particularly unpopular. People complain that the cartoonish style doesn't match the game at all. Despite being a well-regarded Famicom game, Argos no Senshi doesn't have any follow-ups on the system. In fact, it would take 20 years before any sequel would be made. As for the original, there's a reason why it's remembered as such a great game. The visuals and music are fantastic, and the action plays great. I don't even mind the huge amounts of sprite flicker, or the rare slowdowns that occur. If we only counted games up to this point, Argos no Senshi would be in my top 5 Famicom games. It's not going to hold that position, but that's because we're going to see so many amazing games.